On October 29th of 2006, two men shooting target practice in a wooded area off of Interstate 20 in Kilgore, Texas, made a gruesome discovery. The body of a woman was lying face down on a pile of burning brush. The men quickly called 911, and deputies with the Gregg County Sheriff's arrived at the scene to start cordoning off the area. Once detectives arrived, they then began the task of sizing up what was in front of them and looking for clues. The body was badly burned and was lying on top of a pile of wood with another pile of wood stacked on top of it. It appeared that the body was that of a female and had not been burning but for only a few minutes when it was discovered, along with a gas can lid found at the scene indicated the likely accelerant used to start the fire. The victim was wearing jeans and a lavender-colored sweater and had $40 cash in total in her pockets. However, she did not have any identification nor any clues to determine who she was. She was then taken to the coroner's office for autopsy. During the process, it was determined that she was of either white or possibly Middle Eastern descent, between 17 and 25 years of age, 5'3" to 5'5" tall, and weighed between 100 to 120 pounds, with either reddish or blonde hair with highlights. The medical examiner noted that she had perfect teeth with no cavities or fillings. The presence of semen was found upon forensic examination, indicating a possible rape. Her DNA had been entered into a national database but came back with nothing. She was named the Lavender Doe and was buried in the White Cemetery in Longview, taking with her the secret to her true identity to her grave. On October 2nd, 2013, Lavender Doe's remains were exhumed and a three-dimensional computer-generated model of what she might have looked like in life was released to the public. Despite comparison with the dental records and DNA of a large number of missing persons, the search for her identity long remained unknown. After the release of the most recent reconstruction, the mother of a woman who went missing in August of 2006 in Longview, Texas, after going to a nightclub, indicated that the composite sketches and models could be her daughter, 23-year-old Brandy Wells. However, after doing DNA testing, it was determined to not be her. In 2018, 3 volunteers working with the DNA Doe Project took on the case to try to uncover her identity. $1,400 was raised to pay for DNA genealogy testing. On July 24th of that year, the remains of a female were discovered in a wooded area off West Birdsong Street in Longview, Texas. She would later be identified as 38-year-old Felicia Pearson, who had been reported missing by her mother the previous week. The family immediately had pointed the finger towards a man that Felicia had been living with at the time, Joseph Wayne Burnett, a man well known to police at the time. Burnett, a registered sex offender, was actually a person of interest at the time of Lavender Doe's murder, but denied any involvement. The following month, Burnett was arrested for failing to register as a sex offender. While at the Gregg County Jail, detectives came to interview him about Pearson's murder. On August 21st, he gave a full confession corroborating the investigation's facts into the death of Pearson. During his confession, he also confessed to the murder of Lavender Doe. Burnett said at the time he picked the girl up at a Walmart and that she was selling magazines. He convinced her to get into his truck. At the original time of the Lavender Doe's murder, police did have his DNA as a match to the semen found. Burnett did say, in fact, that they had met up and had consensual sex, but that he was not responsible for the murder, and coupling that with him having an alibi, they were not able to proceed with the case. Burnett told investigators he strangled both women, but also said he did not know the name of Lavender Doe and said he may have remembered her name being Ashley. In January of 2019, the research volunteers at the DNA Doe Project, along with the genealogy company GED Match, have finally made a positive identification on the Lavender Doe case, and on February 11th of 2019, she finally had her name. She was 21-year-old Dana Lynn Dodd, a young woman with a troubled past. her mother having abandoned her when she was young, and a father that was in and out of her life. At the time she left Florida, she was living with her brother in Jacksonville, and when she was 18, decided to get a job selling magazine subscriptions door to door, traveling across the country. Her brother tried to convince her to stay, but she told them she was 18 and wanted to strike out on her own. On December 15th of 2020, Joseph Wayne Burnett pled guilty to both the murders of Dana Lynn Dodd and Felicia Pearson. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison. He is eligible for parole in 2043. This is the final resting place of Dana Lynn Dodd. Looked like there was a picture of her right there that's been faded. Just a young kid who was preyed upon by an evil, despicable monster. She's just out here, you know, you're young, trying to find your way, trying to make a living, trying to make a couple bucks, and, you know, her not knowing the evil that lurks in people's hearts and the evil that lurks in towns all around us. And to prey on a young girl who doesn't know any better. Too bad he wasn't executed in the worst way possible, preferably. So, rest in peace to Dana, and my condolences to her family. Just a terrible, terrible story. And they decided to keep her here because, you know, it's to move her. I'm sure it costs a lot of money, and, you know, the people here in Longview, you know, worked really hard on this case, so the family decided to keep her here. So rest in peace. Okay, guys, I'm hitting the road. I'm out of here. I will see you on the next video. Be careful out there. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the company that you keep. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.